Record. I'm just
Perfect.
gonna let them all in. There's
Yep.
30 people. Oh, maybe I should.
Billy's here. Hello, thank you for being here. We will start in a couple of minutes, just allowing for people to get here on time. We will be starting in a couple of minutes, just for all of those that are just joining. We'll give some time for everyone that registered to get in the room. Thank you for being here.
Okay.
So we'll get started, just to be respectful of your time and so that we can get to Q&As with a lot of time to go over everything. Good afternoon. My name is Arancha Araujo. I am a program manager from Franklin Furnace Archive. And this year I'm collaborating with Enfoco. And with this new opportunity, we are really excited to welcome you to Enfoco's Media Art Work in Progress Fund information session. Today we will go over some text suggestions, then I will pass the mic to Oscar, our incredible development manager, and then we will thoroughly explain each section of our application, closing with some time for Q&As. We want to encourage you to send any questions by typing those directly via the chat feature, and we will address those questions, or also you can write them down and then ask them directly to either Oscar or myself. So before we begin, we recommend that everyone mute themselves. You can do this by clicking on the mic icon on the bottom left corner or by pressing Command-Shift-A on your keyboard. To switch between active speaker and gallery view, press on the view button in the top right corner of the screen or press Command-Shift-W on your keyboard. We want to make today's program as accessible as possible, so a recording of this session will be available with closed caption. And without further ado, here's our incredible Oscar Rivera. Take it away.
Hi, everyone. I'm Oscar Rivera. I'm the development manager at Enfoco. So Enfoco is originally stationed in the Bronx on what was originally homeland for the Lenape people. We aim to honor all members and accomplishments of the Lenape community, past, present, and future, and acknowledge that the land on which we operate came to us through violent exclusion and erasure of Lenape and other indigenous peoples, and are committed to dismantling the ongoing legacies of such settler colonialism. The Enfoco Media Support Grant is supported with special thanks to the Jerome Foundation for underwriting the Media Arts Works in Progress Fund, with additional funds from the Joy of Giving Something Inc., the Ford Foundation, Wave Farm, New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, in partnership with the City Council, the New York State Council on the Arts, with support of Governor Andrew M. Cuomo and the New York State Legislature and individual donors. Sorry if I breezed through that, y'all.
Cool, so now we will begin a short video, and please let us know if there's any questions. We'll allow for time for that in the end. So we can start the video now, Oscar.
Yep.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Arantxa Araujo. I am a multidisciplinary artist and art administrator from Mexico City, living in Brooklyn. I will be working today with Enfoco to make sure that we clarify the process of submission for this new opportunity, Enfoco Media Arts Work in Progress Fund. Very important application and guidelines can be found at www.enfoco.submittable.com. Most importantly, the deadline is on January 11th, 2021 at 11:59 p.m. So make sure all of your applications are in before that so that they are taken into consideration. We will start by clarifying that Enfoco Media Arts Work in Progress Fund is working this year in collaboration with BronxNet. So as I said, I will be working with Enfoco, a nonprofit organization that nurtures and supports contemporary fine art and documentary photographers of diverse cultures, primarily U.S. residents of Latino, African, and Asian heritage, and native peoples of the Americas and the Pacific. Since it was founded in 1974, Enfoco has been an outspoken leader and advocate for equitable support and access to resources for photographers of color. It has distinguished itself through its sustained commitment to providing its primary constituency and communities they represent financial support, public programming, information service, and cultural advocacy initiatives. As I said before, we're working with BronxNet. BronxNet provides hands-on television production training, equipment access, and channels for Bronx residents. Award-winning BronxNet programs keep BronxNet in touch with the people, issues, neighborhoods, and activities that make the borough what it is today. The vision for BronxNet came from dedicated Bronx officials who worked with residents to create a fully equipped television station and media center that would be accessible to Bronx residents, students, community organizations, and leaders. This opportunity is designed to support artists of color who engaged with digital media technologies within their art-making processes. Who can apply? Artists of Latino, African, Asian American heritage, and native peoples of the Americas and the Pacific. The artist must be a resident of New York City for the past year at the time of submission, and the artist must show proof of residency. The artist must be at least 18 years of age. Collaborating artists are eligible, but only one artist can submit the application. So who cannot apply? Graduate or undergraduate students matriculated in a fine art and/or photography degree program at the time of application submission. If you are a student, you are ineligible. Enfoco's board members and staff are ineligible to apply, as well as BronxNet board members and staff, also ineligible to apply. So students are not eligible, board members or staff from Enfoco or BronxNet are ineligible. We're looking for all innovative interpretations of digital media, requiring a critical digital aspect in both the process and the product. So this project must be of the highest quality of work and potential, as determined by a panel of peers and industry professionals. The award will focus solely on works that need support towards the completion of a current project. This means that this is a work in progress already, and you need the money or the support to complete such project. Only works in progress are eligible. Traditional photography is not eligible. We are looking for projects that include photo-based processes and other mediums and media. So if you have a project that's photo-based, but it includes other processes of media and mediums, you are eligible. If it's just photography, then it is not eligible. They're looking for. So entries may include but are not limited to the following. So these are just examples to make it clear to you. We are looking for film projects. We are looking for video projects. We are looking for interactive, non-interactive installations, multi or mixed media, experimental processes, sound art, and other. We will touch on each of these so we can clarify. We will start with film. In film, we're looking for either narrative, non-linear, gender-specific, just to mention some of those. Video. For video, we are looking for animation projects, documentary, experimental, contemporary approaches to moving image. These are just to name a few, just to give you an example of what we're looking for. About interactive and non-interactive installations, we are looking for digital painting, digital sculpture, site-specific installation works, just to name a few. Now, talking about multi or mixed media. We are looking for works using one or more mediums or processes. For experimental processes, it could be augmented reality technology, biomechanical processes, alternative processes, earth art, virtual reality works, etc. Sound art, and other projects are also eligible. If you have questions about your specific project, please feel free to send us your questions. Any works using digital processes that do not rely solely in photography are eligible. So here we have, for the submission requirements, these are the submission requirements. We will be talking about each of these steps individually, but let me just go ahead and go through the list. We need to create an account with submittable.com. We need a project proposal, 500 to 1,000 words. We need a budget. We need a one-page resume and a 150 to 200 word bio. We need a 200 word artist statement. We need support materials, and we need a headshot. Let's get started. The first step is to create an account with Submittable. Number 2, you need to have a project proposal between 500 and 1,000 words describing specific aspects of your work, such as the subject matter, the context, the content, the location, the personal relevance, and anticipated completion of the work you submitted. 3, the budget. Please outline the total costs associated with the project, including the portion of the budget that these funds are requested for. let us know the total budget and how you are planning to use the $1,000 that this opportunity grants. 4, we would like a one-page resume and a biography between 150 and 200 words. Number 5, we need an artist statement that's 200 words or up to 200 words. An artist statement is an artist's written description of their work. The brief verbal representation is for and in support of their work, to give the viewer some further understanding. As such, it aims to inform, connect with an art context, and present the basis for the work. Number 6, we need support materials or sample works. We need works that best represent the scope of the proposed project, including samples of past works and current works in progress. We will need photos between 1 and 5 images, JPEGs only, please, and they need to be 3,300 pixels minimum and a resolution of 300 dpi. For videos, we would like files that are .mov or MP4s. 3 minutes maximum, links are acceptable. For sound, we need MP3 files, 3-minute maximum, links are accessible as well. So if you have an other type of file, please submit it as a PDF, and that could be any non-photo, non-video, or non-sound submissions. Please always include a brief description for all your samples. Number 7, we need a headshot 300 dpi minimum, JPEG only, please. Minimum of 5 inches on the shortest side. The application form does not have to be completed in one single session. The system will save your draft application, but we also suggest that you save often, and as you fill out the form, you save copy of any narrative texts. So the application deadline is on January 11th, 11:59 p.m. So please make sure that you fill out the application and submit before this deadline. The panel review will take place on February 2021. The award notifications will go out on March 2021. There will be 5 grant recipients notified via email. The recipients will receive a $1,000 support to be used at the artist's discretion towards the completion of the submitted project. Selected proposals will be exhibited online on the Enfoco website and featured at the 2021 Enfoco Media Exhibition and featured on BronxNet TV. And finally, we'll have a final progress interview on October 21. Recipients will be required to provide a brief statement and progress interview outlining the project's development and what the support helped accomplish within the project. The grant payments. The recipients will each receive $750 upon notification of the award, with a balance of $250 to be remitted at the completion of your progress interview in October 2021. So the first $750 will be awarded on March 2021 as you receive the notification, and the remaining $250 will be paid during the progress interview. And we want to extend special thanks to the Jerome Foundation for underwriting the Media Arts Work in Progress Fund, with additional funds from the Joy of Giving Something, the Ford Foundation, Wave Farm, and New York City Department of Cultural Affairs in partnership with the City Council, the New York State Council of the Arts with the support of Governor Andrew M. Cuomo and the New York State Legislature and individual donors. Thank you so much. Please let us know if you have any questions. We hope this is helpful during your process, and we are very happy to receive feedback for next iterations of this program.
Thank you so much, Oscar. And now we would love to open the floor for questions. You can either type them in the chat, or you can use the raising hand feature, and then we will call you so that we ask those. Or you can just, if there's silence, just ask the question.
We've already got one question from Rico Washington. Are there any examples of previously funded projects that we can look at? So because this program is entirely new, this is the first iteration, there aren't any. But that just means that you can submit almost anything as long as it's not a traditional photography-based program and it's still eligible to be considered.
Great question, Rico. We have another question. My project is a feature film. For a submission under 3 minutes, would a trailer suffice?
Yes, it would.
It could be a trailer, or it could be an excerpt of the movie, continuous 3-minute excerpt, and that would be perfect. Thank you, Gregory. Thank you, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, is that video available anywhere? Yes, the video will be available. We will post it on Enfoco's website. So if you want to see it, we will both have these Q&A and the video elsewhere.
In the state. So outside of the 5 boroughs, you would be ineligible. Because of funding, we're only looking at submissions within the 5 boroughs for right now.
Yeah, this question is from Rose Smith. They asked, if I live in the state of New York, would I be ineligible? So Oscar was answering to that. And yes, if you live in the state, ineligible, you need to be in the 5 boroughs in order to be eligible. From Alicet Torres, how many samples of work are needed in the end? I utilize various mediums. Can I supply different mediums as samples?
Of course. So the form will give you space for, I believe, 3 to 5 different samples. And there might be some optional spaces. You can use whatever combination of support materials best represent your work.
Thank you, Alicet, for that question. Thank you, Oscar. Any other questions? So Nancy Paredes just asked, I work using alternative processes in photography, such as photogravure and gum bichromate printing. Is this an eligible category as well?
So, sorry, Nancy, unfortunately, it's not eligible for this program, but it is an eligible project for our fellowship, which will be closing soon. So you can go on the same Enfoco.submittable and apply for those projects through our fellowship program.
Great. From Emmanuel Abreu, to be clear, we don't need to be complete. We don't need to complete the full project by the new year. And that is correct, right, Oscar?
Yep. So the benchmarks that were listed in the video, so you would get your award notification in March, and then there would be a final progress interview in October, but that's more for us. The support grant is to assist you in developing the project. It's not to timestamp it. So you can work as long as you need to. We would just be within our own calendar, if that makes sense.
Great. And then there's another question right here. What length film documentary?
Whatever the length of your project is. There's no specific caps on time outside of the support materials.
Great. And one more question. Are there any limitation of kind of projects to be funded?
Yes, as long as it is not a traditional photography-based project and there's no other like digital intervention or digital media, then it's not eligible to be funded.
But everything else is eligible, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Great. One more question over here. What do you mean by Asian American heritage? Do you accept only American citizen? Thank you.
So part of Infoco's mission is that we support and represent and honor people from diverse cultures across the globe. So our like goal is to primarily work with people of color and BIPOC artists. So as long as you check any of those boxes, you are eligible to apply through funding through us for any of our programs.
Thank you for that, Oscar. And one more question over here. If I submit my application early enough, can it be reviewed and given feedback for resubmission? If not, who is the point of contact to ask following up questions after this session?
Gotcha. So the applications will be reviewed by a panel process that is third party to Infoco. So we won't be able to review and then resubmit. However, you can email grants@Infoco, and one of us there will get back to you with any questions that you might have.
Great, thank you for that. Gregory and Oscar. Any other questions? Is there a file size limit for uploading a MOV file?
Yes, I do not know it off the top of my head right now, but it will be listed in the application form.
Yeah, so when you go in submittable, it'll tell you what the maximum size for the file is. So then basically you can either reduce the size or make it smaller if needed.
Next question. Excuse me. So C. Rose asks, who is on the review board and panel? We don't know yet. So we don't typically pick out our reviewers until after the application windows have closed.
And I think also you won't disclose that information until after they have chosen the 5 grantees, right?
Yeah, they're not typically noted mentioned until the awarded press release goes out, and then they're named in that.
Yeah. And one more, should we submit MOV and MP4 for safety?
No, whichever your preferred file type is should be fine. If we have any issues with the file, we'll reach out to you directly.
And also in terms of size, we do accept links. So if you have something in Vimeo and you want to keep it with password, just provide the password and then we'll use it from Vimeo directly or from YouTube or whatever the platform you're using is. One more question. Are we to submit just a trailer for the whole work in progress? Yes, so a trailer would be good. Also, as we mentioned before, an excerpt, like a little piece of whatever you're working on would be good. You can do a trailer and an excerpt. You have a space for between 3 and 5 samples. So whatever the mix of samples that you want to provide to give the panel a more clear vision of what the project is, it's on your best interest. Is an idea for a music video acceptable, like a drawn storyboard, slideshows displaying the idea?
I would say that as long as it is engaging digital media and some other aspect of photography, then it is eligible. You just have to read through the guidelines a little finer and see if it actually applies.
But it sounds like yes,
Mm-hmm.
video is acceptable, so music video should be acceptable. If you provide a storyboard, then perhaps provide some samples of previous work so that the panel gets a clear vision of how you work. And yeah. We are getting some thank you notes. Thank you for everyone that came and for all your questions. If there are more questions, we still have a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe, Oscar, that because we are recording this session, Zoom will provide you with a chat with all the questions. Perhaps we can also include those questions in the transcript in the page so that people can go back and listen to the answers or read the answers if you need. And we have 3 more thank yous. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All
It
right.
seems like
Well,
all the questions are solved. So yeah, Oscar.
with that, I just want to let you guys know that I mentioned the photography fellowship, and the deadline for that is December 19th. So if you have any projects that didn't seem like they would be eligible for funding for this project, they will be eligible for the fellowship. The fellowship has a different parameter, and you can apply if you live in this state as well as the boroughs. So feel free to ask us any questions about that as well.
Thanks for that reminder. Thanks for your time. Where do we apply for that fellowship?
So it'll be in the same place as for this one, enfoco.submittable.com. And the link of that will be on our website. So if you need any additional questions or anything, you can go to enfoco.org.
Awesome. I think there's no more questions. This is great. We really hope that this was useful. If you have any feedback or additional questions, feel free to email us. Thank you for being here. And we hope that this opportunity helps many of you to complete or continue to develop your projects.
Thank you.
Oscar, any final words?
You've said it all. I just want to thank you guys for taking some time out to hang out with us for a little bit. Someone included the link in the chat, so if you didn't catch when I said it, it's there now. And if you have any other questions after this, grants@enfoco.org, and we'll answer all your questions there.
Thank you. We'll do the goodbye mantra. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right.